For every solution, there has, of course, got to be a problem that the solution addresses. And this first solution addresses the problem of leaders who have become lost in the maze of their position. They're there, they're diligent, but they're lost. Now, my success at my job is different from other leaders, even though we may both work at the same organization. Success for me is to make sure that I have the right resources and the right quality of resources at the right place at the right time. Now, I can focus on a lot of different things, but the bottom line is that must be the right resources at the right place and at the right time. No matter what else I do, if I don't do that, then I am going to become ineffective and unsuccessful at what I do. Probably the greatest area of breakdown for many or perhaps even most middle and upper managers is that they assume that they know the answer to the question, what does success look like for my position? But they don't. Do you know what success looks like for your position? I would guess you probably assume that you do, but the reality might be a little different. Now, it's important to get this correct, so let's try this. If you cannot articulate in a sentence or two what success looks like for your position, this is an area where you may be performing at a mediocre level. Let me say it again. If you cannot articulate, either verbally or in written form, what success looks like for your position, then this is an area where you may have a problem. You say, well, I can write down 100 things that I am responsible for. And if you do that, then you've already missed the point. Because those things are important, but there are a very, very few things which define success in your particular position. Narrowing down all that you do and discarding the busy is going to be imperative for you to succeed. Now, I want to emphasize this point. Do you want to overcome this barrier of being lost in the maze? Do you want to overcome being trapped in literally the minutia of your position, which prevents you from rising above the mediocrity of your position? Here's what you do. First of all, you have to be able to define clearly, what does success look like for your position? Sentence or two, not 15. Find the things that make the difference. There's going to be a lot of things that support that. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But you must start here. Can you clearly articulate those things which will define success for your position? And then after that, look at the tasks which define that success, which foster that success. There's a lot of things that you can be doing, but there are certain tasks which will support your success. And there are a lot of tasks which you're probably engaged in and staying incredibly busy, which really aren't lending themselves to your success or the success of your organization. I call these the TWDS, tasks which define success. If you pay attention to the tasks which define success, then you will be successful. Now, do you know which tasks that you can perform will lead you to success? These TDWSs will serve you well in getting out of this maze. And so here's the first step in this lesson that we're working on right now. The maze that has trapped many leaders, it really starts by not having a clear understanding of what their job is. So if this feels like you, I want you in the project area to upload your description of how that maze works for you, how it's trapped you, and then think about and articulate in a sentence or two, what are the tasks which define success? Not the task, but how can you define success for your position? And then a couple of the steps underneath that, those tasks which define it. Post that, we'll engage in back and forth a little bit. I'm looking forward to reading what you write, and we'll move on in the next lesson to